All right. Good morning, Southland. I do hear the upperclassmen behind me, my juniors and seniors. Good morning, Southland. Can I hear some freshmen? Good morning, freshmen. There you go, there you go. My sophomores, 10th grade. Good morning, sophomores. All right, upperclassmen, they're coming for you. Juniors, make some noise. All right, and last but definitely not least, the graduating class, the triumphant, the class of 2023. All right. Okay, all right. Well, we're going to be efficient because we have finals beginning in a matter of hours, so if I can have your full attention. Thank you. Today, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Today is a very special day here at Southland. You might ask, why are we here and why are we not in a study review for finals? There is a very good reason we're taking a quick break from this kind of preparation for finals because we have to celebrate a couple really important things. The first thing I want to share is some breaking news, and I want to ask that all of our sophomores, our juniors, and our seniors, I want you guys to give some love right now for our freshman class. Give it up for the freshman class right now. Now, I haven't shared why, but I want everyone in the room to know we just literally got through processing our data for our practice SAT exams. And what I want to share with the entire Southland family, our students and our staff, that our freshmen have had the highest growth in the freshman class in our entire history. Let's give it up for our freshmen. Outstanding, outstanding work. We've been doing practice SATs freshmen for about 8 years. I want you to know that your growth, your performance from August to now is the highest growth we've ever seen in our history. So we are really proud of you. One more time, let's give it up for the freshmen. All right. That was part of why we're here, all right? But another reason we're here is because there's a bit of healthy competition. The federal law requires that each state in the nation provide designations for every school to help friends, families, and communities understand how well schools are doing. And since 2018, the state of Illinois has created these designations to determine the top performing schools in every state, and Illinois is no exception. The COVID pandemic put a pause on things, but since then, we've been evaluated against all other schools in the state of Illinois. And with that, we have a very special guest, a very close friend of mine. We've been friends for at least a decade. He's been one of the biggest advocates for the charter movement in the state of Illinois. This is the movement that made Southland possible years ago. And this young man has really been a champion for charter schools, and he's here to share a celebration and a great announcement on behalf of Southland College Prep. He is an attorney. Let's give it up for Mr. Andrew Broy.
Good morning, Southland family. It's great to be back in the Southland, and anybody who calls me a young man is a friend in my book immediately, so thank you, Mr. Lane. I am here today because I am going to deliver a special proclamation in honor of Southland, but before I do that, I want to give you a little history of how I came to know this organization. 12 years ago, I met Dr. Davis, who had a vision for this school that seemed audacious when I first heard it. A place of academic excellence, a place of community, and a place where young people's lives would be changed was what her vision was. And we're here 12 years later to celebrate the realization of that. My name is Andrew Broy. I run an organization called the Illinois Network of Charter Schools. We have 142 member schools across the state educating 62,000 students. You all are part of that family. We advocate for schools, make sure they get fair treatment, equal funding, etc. But the real stars of our movement are you, our students, our families, the teachers that make education possible. Now, I've got a trivia question for you this morning. There are 69 high schools in the state of Illinois in our membership, 69 charter high schools. Guess how many of them received an exemplary designation by the state board 4 years in a row? Out of 69 schools, how many? I hear 5, I hear 1, I hear 10. All right, here's the answer. The correct answer is not 10, not 6, not 5, not 3, but 1. And as you probably figured out, that 1 is Southland College Prep. Furthermore, looking at every single high school in the state of Illinois being exemplary 4 years in a row puts you in the top 7% of all high schools statewide, and one of the only ones in the southern suburbs to ever achieve this designation. Give yourselves a round of applause, please. And with that, I have the honor of welcoming your leader to the stage to receive both a plaque commemorating this achievement and a resolution honoring Southland, your accomplishments, and the work that's been done. Give it up for Dr. Blondine Davis, everyone.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Harrigan, we could use a little enthusiasm. Let me hear them. Thank you, Mr. Harrigan. But I'm going to stand so that I can see everyone, so that my back is not to you. Shh. Shh. First of all, congratulations to all of you. I do have some comments to make, and looking back on the past 10 to 11 years. But first of all, let me tell you how grateful I am that you have persevered. And if you look back over the last 3 years, there was a pandemic. Many of you did not step foot into this building or any other school for almost 2 years. We were on Zoom, we went to the hybrid, Mr. Broy, that really didn't work either, the way we thought it would. And then you came back last year. But last year I felt the tension, not only in this building, but in all the schools that we supervise, simply because foremost in your minds was the issue of whether or not someone is going to have COVID. But this is another year, Andrew, and Andrew is a friend. I've known him for a long time, and I've known also the support of INCS. I don't know that you're aware of this because we don't often talk about it, but when we first had the concept of opening Southland, there was a lot of opposition. We're just a school, we're just a public school, it's just a choice. But we ended up in court, and we ended up having some, Mr. Johnson, unpleasant discussions with people. But we persevered, and INCS, however, was always with us, even when there was a storm. And so I think it's very appropriate that they're with us today, because we went through the storm, we went through the chorus, we went through all of that. And all we've ever done, and all we will continue to do, is whatever we can do to help you to have a bright future. That's it. That's all. But could I have anticipated that through everything that we all went through the last 3 years, that you would come out on top and we would maintain our designation? No. Because underneath, I felt that there was an unrest. But I want to congratulate you, all of the students that are here, because no matter what fears you had, no matter what thoughts you had, you persevered. And I think that it's a reflection of who you are, your integrity, your courage, but it's also a reflection that you have dreams and hopes of your own, and you know that Southland is just the vehicle that's going to help you to go on to have a successful future. That's all. But it all really boils down to you. And I publicly congratulate you. You know, we've had a very peaceful year. But to be honest, in retrospect, perhaps we've had a peaceful 12 year, and I'm talking about inside the building. People don't know us. They don't know that we're a family, and those of you who see me in the hallways know that I'm always telling you and asking you, are you being kind to each other? Because within a family, that's the way that you behave. But you know what it has done? It's helped us to look beyond the confines of this building and to allow you to have some experiences that I think are growth experiences. But it's also allowed me to look at you as individuals, and I'm ever so proud. We do have a member of Southland's Board of Education, and Mr. Johnson, you wear several hats. He is a member of the 162 board, he's a member of the Southland board, but what is most important to me, he knows who we are because he's a parent. So, Mr. Johnson, would you bring us comments, please, at this time?
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Thank you, Southland. Congratulations to the freshmen for the amount of growth that you've demonstrated. Congratulations to the seniors. I have a special senior of my own. Congratulations to seniors on the future that you have ahead of you. I like sophomores too. And juniors are pretty good. I want to congratulate you all on the 4 years of Exemplary. The school getting all these ratings is because you all have been putting in the work, making your march towards your future. And so congratulations, Dr. Davis, to the staff for providing the environment for you to do well. On behalf of Board President Ron Bean, I wish you all the very best as you roll into finals. Who's excited about finals? Okay, so not that exciting, but you all had a very exciting arts performance this last week, which I really enjoyed. Congratulations to the singers and the dancers and the band members. You had a sports season. Congratulations to the athletes for your accomplishments. And now just one big push now to get through finals and take it into the holidays. Happy holidays to everyone, and congratulations again.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. But shh, there's some special people in the room, and I think that they're special. I talk about them all the time. And they're called, come on now, guys, teachers. And really, my comments really are to you because we are a reflection of who you are. And many of you, I see Mr. Wells over there, And I don't know if you know our history, but even when we were at the Huth and we didn't have a building, we had the expertise and the dedication of Mr. Wells. Thank you for persevering, Mr. Wells. But a special thank you to all of our teachers. You know, I don't believe in miracles. I just believe in good teachers. That's what I believe in. I've always done that. And if people are thinking that there's some kind of magic dust that we sprinkle over the place, no. The teachers just teach, they re-strategize, and they teach to mastery. That's what they do. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, all of you. Can we give them a round of applause? And you know, what we also know is that there are no short-term solutions. Everything we do here, and I'm going to wait, because you know I can't do that. Everything we do here is about the journey. It's about the long term. It's about your futures. So this school does have an extended day, and you might think why. Because some of you come from school districts, elementary districts, where there might not have been an emphasis on the academic foundation. I don't know that. But what I do know is that all the teachers and I believe in Ron Edmonds' philosophy. And if you want to look that up, I don't know, do I see Mrs. Epson? Dr. Levy, this is a good thing for you. Let's all find out who Ron Edmonds is, everybody in the building. And you know what would be a good thing? I've never asked for this before. Why don't we have an essay through the English classes? I'd love to know. Yeah, I like that idea. Okay. That's okay, I know you're awake now. You're listening to me. That's a good thing. Anyway, what if I just tell you about Ron Edmonds' philosophy? Okay, what about if I do that? You don't write an essay, I just tell you. Shh. Ron Edmonds was a philosopher, an educator, but his thoughts drive us here. And when we did our proposal to open Southland, it was what I told the state board. They asked, Mr. Broy, what is going to make Southland different? That's what the president of the board asked. And my answer was, what's going to make us different is we're going to succeed. So we don't have gimmicks, and I know that there are charter schools and other schools that have something that is unusual. And we thought about when we opened Southland, did we want to run through the halls? Did we want to emphasize sports or what? So we decided, teachers, that we were just going to emphasize what goes on in the classroom. And that's always been our focus. That's always been our focus. But Ron Edmonds believed, in essence, that we have a responsibility as teachers, as administrators, to educate all students who enter our doors and to do it well. But he went on to say that if we do not do that, then we have to assume the responsibility for having failed. So when I get up in the morning and I think about you and I think about the other schools under my supervision, then what I'm really thinking about is the expression on your faces, but I'm thinking about your futures also. And I know that we have students now who graduated that are in law school, that are in medical school. We have students in some of the best schools in our country. Thank you, thank you, thank you to our teachers. Thank you for everything that you do. I so appreciate that. I so appreciate that. And we could have a little drum roll for the teachers. What do we want to say about them? Well, that was a tiny drum roll, but okay. All right, I accept that. But, shh. You know, in our profession, and I talked about the role of a teacher, but teachers all of us are very different in terms of our backgrounds, but what we have in common is that we care about you. What we have in common is our tenacity and our creativity. I don't know if we all have in common that we all have patience, but that would be a wonderful thing if we did. But you know, there are sometimes teachers that go above and beyond. And I'd like Mr. Broy and Mr. Lane, I'm not sure where he is, but Mr. Broy, I think that you have something to tell us about one of our teachers, and Mr. Lane, if you would help him. Mr. Lights, Mr. Bear.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. So every year my organization runs something called the Illinois Charter Excellence Awards, where we solicit nominations for Teacher of the Year and Principal of the Year from all of our member schools. We've been doing this for the past 11 years, and this year we received the highest number of nominations in our history, 124 nominations for Teacher of the Year and Principal of the Year. I am proud to say that one of the winning entries this year is a Southland teacher. And I can tell you, having reviewed many applications over the years, that this was one of the strongest applications we had ever seen. And it was apparent to all of us how much this individual teacher loved her students, was committed to the profession, and saw her own future as tied up with the future of the young people she's educating. So we're going to call her up here in a second to award her and recognize her contributions. The 2022 Inc.'s Charter Excellence Award Teacher of the Year, Ms. Gruzius.
Give it up for Ms. Gruzius, y'all. All right, Ms. Gruzius! Mama G! Come on out, mock trial. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, let's give it up for the 2022 Illinois Teacher of the Year, Southland's own Miss Gruzius. All right. All right, Miss Gruzius. So we had a little conversation. Sophomores. We had a little conversation with the mock trial team, and for those who are new to Southland, understand that there was no mock trial team until Ms. Gruzius. For those who are unaware, Ms. Gruzius is an attorney. So make sure, especially our sophomores and juniors, when you move on to senior year and you're working with Ms. Gruzius, she is not only a talented teacher, but she is actually a passionate attorney who felt that we needed to have mock trial because we have future lawyers in our midst. And we have a future superstar in our midst who stepped up and said, I want to say some things about Ms. Gruzius. Let's give it up for one of our super seniors. I love this man. Give it up for Sean Strong, y'all.
Good morning, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sean Strong. And I'm here to talk about the impact that Mrs. Grusius has had on me throughout my high school career. I first met Mrs. Grusius when I tried out for mock trial during Freshman Academy in 2019. I missed the first day, and the cutoff was the very second day, but I guess you could say that Ms. G saw a potential within me that I hadn't even noticed within myself, because before she even knew me, she was willing to pull me out of class just so I could try out. Although I made the team, I did come in nervous, considering the fact that I knew nothing about law, and I was shy when it came to speaking in front of a lot of people. How ironic. However, Mrs. Grusius always believed in me, even when times I didn't believe in myself. Never once did she think that I was incapable of becoming a good member of the team, and she even spent her own time with me working one-on-one. For example, earlier this year, I was going over my lines repeatedly before an important trial because I had messed up the competition prior. But she had sat me down to tell me to take a breath and that I would do just fine. And funny enough, that trial landed me an honorable mention for the best attorney in a whole national tournament. Over time, she has helped me become more confident and given me the ability to truly step into my role, which would eventually lead me to bringing home multiple awards. But she didn't just believe in me. She didn't just help me get to where I am today. Mrs. Grusius helped all of her students. She cares for all of us and wants us to grow individually and together as a team. During my time in mock trial, Mrs. Grusius treated us as if we were our own kin. I remember when I was a freshman, the seniors would call her Mama G. And one would think that we were her actual kids the way she would get on us when competitions came around. And although at times we have butted heads, like when I wanted to leave a scrimmage early to go to a party, or when the class would be too loud and she'd shout her favorite catchphrase, "Shut your pie hole," she has always been there for me whenever I needed her, whether it be in the classroom or outside of school. And I think I can confidently speak for all members of mock trial, both current and alumni, when I say the things we have accomplished as a team over the years wouldn't be possible without her. Thank you, Mrs. Grusius.
All right, give it up for Sean Strong, mock trial. Now, Ms. Grusius, we all know that these are your children, and she's always treated every Southland student that she's led as her own. And I've worked with Ms. Grusius for almost a decade. And she's always talked about her own children. Anyone on the staff who knows Ms. Grusius knows that she loves her own children, it's frighteningly enough, more than even our Southland children. And I've known about a guy named Sam for almost a decade, because Ms. Grusius talks about her children on a regular basis. And we are really blessed today because Sam, one of her many children, is here to share some words. Let's give it up for Ms. Grusius' actual son, Mr. Sam Bell.
What's up, y'all? I recognize a few faces in the audience that I taught at Hoot. Y'all better be on your best behavior for my mom when you get to her. Yeah, I see y'all. I don't have very many words prepared, so this is going to be off the cuff. All I can say is that me, Dad, and Jared are extremely proud of you, Mom. The tremendous amount of hard work, passion, dedication, and love that you put into school and at home is not only noticeable, but it's felt as well. It's those same values and morals that you've instilled in me that have shaped and molded me into the person that I've become today. And that's pushed me to want to help kids just like you have for the last 30 years, as much as I can for you. So all I can say is give another round of applause for Ms. Grusius. Show her some love. Oh, and I got her favorite red velvet cupcakes, too. She's going to be munching on those later. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bell. Attorney Grusius. Southland, do we want to hear from Ms. Grusius? Southland staff, do we want to hear from Ms. Grusius? All right, I don't know if she's up for it. You up for it, Ms. G? She's up for it. Give it up for our Teacher of the Year, the one and only, Ms. Grusius.
I want to thank everyone. I want to thank my son. I want to thank my mock trial team, who I adore. I adore every second with you guys. And I adore my seniors. I feel incredibly blessed. I'm humbled to get an award for something that is my passion. You know, it's, my seniors will know this, it's my personal legend. It's icing on the cake, you know. I come to school every day, you know, filled with joy. It's really, you know, icing on the cake for me. So I thank you so much. I'm at a loss for words for once. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, I'm not at a loss for words, Mrs. Grusius. Mrs. Grusius came here, even though she's an attorney, she came from another school, from Morgan Park Academy, a private school, very different from us. But immediately, I felt in you, I didn't know what your expertise was in the classroom. What I felt was your joy and the fact that I know that you love all of our children, and I felt that from the very beginning. But as time went on and Mrs. Grusius began to assume a myriad of responsibilities, and you always had another new idea, and every time I saw you come in my office, I thought, okay, what now? But probably the mock trial team and the work that she does outside of the classroom, in addition to certainly giving leadership to our students, is really what I have to thank you most for. If you're here late at night, sometimes you see Mrs. Grusius with the mock trial, but you also think about them in a different way, and everyone else. Sometimes during the pandemic, there you were with the brownies for all of us, because you knew we needed just a little lift. But I thank you for whatever you do and what you're going to do in the future, because you've said we're your forever school. I'm going to hold you to that. But I also thank you on behalf of students who are not sitting here, because they're better off. They're more successful because of what you train them to do in the classroom. And some of them are more articulate. One shared that they would not be in law school if it wasn't for your encouragement in mock trial. So thank you, thank you, thank you for everything that you do. I appreciate it. We all appreciate it. Okay. Our freshmen, now our freshmen have met the college readiness standard, Mr. Johnson, already. We got another 6 months to go, so, all right. However, we're on the verge of final exams. So we're gonna ask our band to lead us out. They're gonna stay in place. We're gonna go back to our classrooms, and what I want you to do is to be, well, you can boo, but that's okay. We're going back to classrooms anyway. Thank you for your attention, and have a good day. Dr. Levy, Mr. Johnson, which group? Do we want to go out this way? And you lead us out? Yes. Okay, I want to hear some good music.